We begin this hour with developments surrounding the files related to Jeffrey Epstein. We're going to get to the latest reporting on that, and then we'll go to the life and legacy of Reverend Jesse Jackson. But we reported yesterday on the letter sent to Congress on Saturday by Attorney General Pam Bondi, announcing the Justice Department has released all of those files, claiming it has fulfilled its obligations under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. The letter also outlined its justification for the redactions made in the released files, explaining they were limited to victim privacy, including personally identifiable information and medical details. And it included a list of more than 300, quote, politically exposed people whose names appear in the files in varying contexts, including Donald Trump, former President Bill Clinton, and other politicians, business people, and artists. When asked about the Epstein files aboard Air Force One last night, President Trump claimed the released materials proved he had been cleared of any wrongdoing.
I have nothing to hide. I've been exonerated. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. They went in hoping that they'd find it and found just the opposite. I've been totally exonerated. In fact, Jeffrey Epstein was fighting that I don't get elected with some author, a sleazebag, by the way. And I've been totally exonerated. No, they're getting pulled in, and that's their problem. I don't know. They're going to have to see what happens. But I watched her in Munich, and she seriously has Trump derangement syndrome.
Do you think that she's publicly testifying?
You know, I've been totally exonerated on Epstein, and it's really interesting because they've been pulled in. Think of it. They've been pulled in. Clinton and many other Democrats have been pulled in.
As for the Clintons, Hillary Clinton is accusing the Trump administration of slow walking and covering up the release of the Epstein files. In a new interview, Hillary Clinton told the BBC the White House must, quote, get the files out. She agreed that everyone asked to testify should do so, too.
I think everybody should testify who is asked to testify. I just want it to be fair. I want everybody treated the same way. That's not true for my husband and me, because other witnesses were asked to testify. They gave written statements under oath. We offered that. They want to pull us. Why did they want to pull us into this? To divert attention from President Trump.
This interview comes as both Clinton and her husband, former President Bill Clinton, are set to appear before the House Oversight Committee at the end of this month after a planned contempt vote was shelved. Bill Clinton, several times in the files, was acquainted with Epstein, but says he cut off contact 2 decades ago. Neither Clinton has been accused of any wrongdoing, and both have denied knowledge of Epstein's offenses at the time. So, Joe, again here, you have James Comer and other Republicans walking into this where this will be thrown wide open. Obviously, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton want to testify in public, so it really can be out in the open. Still working on that, but as of now, behind closed doors. But James Comer going back and picking at this scab, a thing you heard you heard President Trump say, I want to move on. I've been exonerated. I don't know that you would use that term. He hasn't been accused of wrongdoing specifically here, but he wants to move on. The president wants to move on. James Comer and other Republicans seem intent for some reason on keeping this alive.
Well, I mean, they want to keep it alive and go after a president who hasn't been in the Oval Office in a quarter of a century.
Yeah.
And they want to ignore the person who's sitting in the White House right now, who I believe has far more mentions in the Epstein files than does Bill Clinton.
Yes.
And this whole idea that, yeah, they're Democrats' names that are in here, no doubt about it. But the idea that somehow it's all Democrats and that the Trump administration has been exonerated, I mean, that's just a joke. You've got, the next Fed chair is in the files if he gets appointed, voted in, confirmed. You have the Commerce Secretary lying time and time and time again about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and getting busted and still holding onto his job. And you wonder, why are they protecting all these rich and powerful men that were hanging around Jeffrey Epstein? Why are there so many connections with Jeffrey Epstein in this administration? It really just doesn't really make any sense, does it? Doesn't make good sense. If there was the idea of getting as far away from Jeffrey Epstein as possible, then there would have been moves they would have made. The Commerce Secretary wouldn't be there. Other people wouldn't be there. Elon Musk would have been called out. You can go down the list. And Ro Khanna is right. You really do have this Epstein class that the Trump administration is trying to protect, and they're trying to protect them actively. When you have Pam Bondi coming out lying, saying, "Oh, we've released everything," that's just a lie, and everybody knows that's a lie. But still, no, Mike Barnicle, still no accountability for the rich and powerful that are ensnarled in these files. Whether you're talking about a lot of people, it seems, in Donald Trump's orbit, or you're talking about a contributor at CBS News, which, again, you just talk about a joke. Keeping that guy connected with CBS News, oh my, it's unbelievable. And then you look out in Los Angeles, you have Casey Wasserman, that for some reason that Olympic committee didn't boot off after they read the level of toleration for these rich and powerful men who were close friends with Jeffrey Epstein, or talked about how much they loved them or how much they missed them when they weren't talking to them, or Ghislaine Maxwell. It really is extraordinary that here we are in 2026. I was saying